Hello, this is Julie
And this is Nick.
with Toad Town, and this is week 1 of our Red Ranger chicken series. So these are our Red Ranger broiler chickens, which we will be raising to ultimately be out on our lawn backyard area, feeding on grass and insects and kind of pasture raised homestead type situation. A little bit about our current situation is, so today is May 9th, and we got our chickens this past Wednesday, May 5th. We had ordered them back in February, so way back in winter. We were actually a little concerned that we wouldn't be able to get this specific variety of chicken for chicken meat, but luckily we got them. And the day of pickup was a bit of a hectic day. We happened to have been in town running a few different unrelated errands, and were just like driving out of town and got the text from our feed store that our chickens were available, ready to be picked up. Luckily, Nick had set up their brooder home. We just had a few more things to do once we drove them home. Get their feeder set up, get their water set up, spread the shavings, and just get it kind of warm and cozy for them.
And the weather that day was pretty good. It was sunny.
Yep, t-shirt weather.
Yeah, mild to warm temperatures. It was a little cool for the chicks. I think they got a little chilled. But overall, it was a pretty convenient day to receive the chicks.
Yeah. The biggest concern were nighttime temperatures. It has been regularly dipping down to 25 degrees Fahrenheit, upper 20s with highs in the 50s. It has been getting a little bit sunny during the day, but the concern comes from the fact that the brooder setup is contained in the tractor that we built, which is then contained in our unheated, uninsulated garage. So when it dips down to 25 degrees, the garage kind of gets cold too.
Yeah, we really debated, how we wanted to brood the chicks. And this is the result we came up with, is to brood them within the chicken tractor, within the garage, so that they're contained, they're safe. We don't need to buy extra boundary material or boxes or anything. And so far it's been working pretty well, but giving them enough heat has definitely been a balancing act.
Yeah, so we ultimately ended up providing them with ceramic bulb heaters. So normally what we've seen in other YouTube videos and other people who have done both like raising egg-laying chicks and broiler chicks is the red bulb light.
Yeah, our garage doesn't have a whole lot of windows, so we added some LED shop lights to be their daylight. To summarize, there's two main advantages of the ceramic heat bulb. One is there's no light, even though the red light doesn't affect the chicks as much as a white light. With a ceramic bulb, there's no light, so at night doesn't impact their rhythms at all. Doesn't impact their sleep. And the other advantage is with the red light bulbs, some of that electrical energy is being transferred into light energy and not necessarily heat. So those light bulbs are usually about 250 watts, but these ceramic no light bulbs are about 150 watts, so about the equivalent amount of heat for 100 fewer watts.
A couple other things that we did to make sure that they were warm in their new abode is we put some 2-inch rigid foam and then a layer of cardboard, or actually a layer of plastic and then a layer of cardboard, and then the pine shavings, and that we figured it would provide them a little bit more insulation from the cold cement garage floor. Nick set up two kind of monitoring systems.
Yeah, so I purchased a wireless security camera, and we put that in the brooder, and that's been a huge advantage. I know a lot of resources say to check your chicks every hour or so, especially for the first day or two. But being able to check them without stressing them out, without distracting them, has been really great. Especially at night, we can check on them, make sure that they're warm enough. In addition to that, I have an Arduino, which is like a little microcomputer in there that is monitoring the air temperature, the air humidity, and then the temperature right underneath the heat lamp, so we can gauge what the pine shaving temperature is underneath the heat lamp in comparison to the ambient air temperature.
Some things that I have observed along the way and noticed that I didn't expect is, one, they are super interesting to watch. I found myself just sitting out in the garage, just like watching them and seeing what they were doing, watching them run around, watching them eat. I don't know why, but it was just really interesting. Another thing is when they sleep, like when they fully fall asleep, they almost do a face plant into the pine shavings, and it's somewhat adorable, but if we hadn't been forewarned about it, I feel like it might have been slightly concerning. But it just seems to be a normal thing. When they just pass out, they pass out.
Also noticed, in comparison to a lot of the YouTube videos that we've watched, it seems so far that the Red Rangers are much more active than the Cornish cross. This is our first time raising chickens or livestock in general, so it is quite a new experience for us. So we've been doing a lot of research, but it seems like they've been really active. So our chicken tractor, our full-size chicken tractor design is about 6 foot by 10 foot on the inside, and what you're seeing here is about a third of that, maybe a little bit less. And we actually started them out even smaller than that, and something we would have wished we had done. We weren't really expecting to get the chicks on the day we did, but next time what we'd prefer to do is have the whole chicken tractor set up for the chicks, heat on, pine shavings in, food, water, everything ready to go, and then to actually on top of that segment them down into a smaller section. But in this case, we had a small section with a small amount of wood chips that we quickly realized was we wanted to increase. Then we moved the barriers, added more wood chips, and then did that one more time to get to this point. So in the future, it would make it a lot easier if the whole floor was ready to go with wood chips, and we just had to give them more space rather than create more space.
Yeah, so lessons learned. One was set up the whole space and then slowly provide them more space. Two, the monitoring equipment has been really valuable for us. While it's not completely necessary, being first time ever chick owner farmers, it's been really helpful for us to see the chicks when we're not in there and see how they're behaving. Are they warm? Are they cold? Being able to monitor the temperatures in addition to their behavior has been just invaluable. So those are our two key takeaways. Join us next week in week 2 of our Red Ranger chicken farming series, and I'm sure they'll be bigger and maybe have a few more feathers by then.
Thanks for watching.